Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today's episode is all about what are continuing education units for medical coders. If you're brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue. I'm a medical coder. I have been a medical coder for over 10 years. I really love sharing the things that I know with all of you. So I hope you'll take a second, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and at the end of this video helps you, I hope that you will share it. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, continuing education units. You may have heard of these. When you get your certification through AHIMA or through AAPC, you have to maintain your credential. Based on what your credential is going to depend on how many units you're going to need, okay? Because every credential has a different number of units. And with AHIMA, they have a different formula based on the number of credentials that you have. So it's different, okay? I'm going to be leaving the link down in the description box below for both associations, their requirements for continuing education units. So I strongly recommend that you guys review that. And if you have any direct questions, that you direct them to the associations themselves. Now, how do we earn continuing education units? Well, you can go through the association conferences when they do have them, although with COVID it's making things a little bit challenging. But they have webinars. They have where you can earn continuing education units. The journals also offer, or at least I know with AHIMA, the journal with AHIMA offers a quiz, and you can get continuing education units that way. You fill out the quiz, you send in the fee, and then you're done. So it's really all going to depend. Now, some employers do offer continuing education units as a benefit of employment. With my employer, they do offer this. So we usually have meetings once a month, and we go to a webinar class together. And that's how we earn our continuing education units. I get a lot more because I go to conference. Well, at least I went last year. I'm not going this year. So they are having a virtual one with AHIMA. So if you are interested in that, be sure to check out the AHIMA.org website. And that way you can get more information about that. Now, when you are taking these continuing education unit classes, they will give you, or they usually give you, a certificate that has like a serial number on it or something that can be identified. That way when you're uploading the certificate, you can submit all of the information as well. And some like in-person classes are maybe one continuing education unit. Sometimes it's 2 or 3, depending on the length of time that you're attending this class. And I've seen some that have all day seminars for and you can earn like 8 continuing education units. It just depends on what the topic is and where you're going. I have been to a boot camp when ICD-10, we were doing the ICD-10 changeover. I wanted to learn more. So I went to Vegas with AHIMA, and I went to a boot camp. It was over a weekend, right? It was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday little boot camp, and then of course I went home on Sunday. But it was a lot of fun, and I got a lot of CEU'S out of that one, and that was it was really a joy to go to those things, because the point of maintaining your credential by earning continuing education units is so that you can stay educated. It is very important that we stay on top of the latest of what's going on with the coding, or with the procedure coding, with the diagnosis coding. If there's updates with any of the systems, encoder updates, if they have to go over that, like the technology, right? And then of course, if there's HIPAA, your HIPAA classes. Whenever I take a HIPAA refresher, I have to do a refresher at my work every year. So I get continuing education units for that one. And the great thing about AHIMA is that they do recognize if you go to one of these continuing education unit classes, and it says that this is an AAPC approved CEU hour or whatever, AHIMA will recognize those. So it's totally fine. And that's what I like. I mean, that's what I appreciate. I'm not really sure about AAPC, what their specific requirements are, but like I said, I'm leaving the link for AAPC as well down in the description box below. I'm certified with AHIMA, and I tried to bring you guys information on both associations, so that way you at least know. But when it comes down to specifics about AAPC, that's where I'm just like, okay, I'm going to defer that to the people because, you know, they're going to know. I mean, of course, they're the website, they're the associations themselves. So, but anyway, it's like I said, we have a 2-year cycle where we can report. This is the same for AAPC as well. So you have however many you have to report. Then you have that 2-year cycle to be able to earn those. So you have time. It's not like you got to earn them overnight unless you're waiting till the last minute, which you should never wait till the last minute. Whatever you do, guys, you worked really hard to get this certification. So do not wait till the last minute to try to earn any CEUs, because once that once the time's out, it's out. You know, you don't want to have your credential, you know, revoked or anything like that, because like I said, passing these certification exams is no joke. Okay, so you want to do everything you can to maintain them. Okay, so that is pretty much what I have on, you know, continuing education units. A lot of times people get confused, and when you look at the website, it breaks it down pretty good. At least with AHIMA it does. They talk about, like, if you have one credential, however many continuing education units is needed for that particular credential, or if you have multiple credentials, how many it needs. So let's see if I can look at this right here real quick. I have both websites up. So it says, like it says here, with AHIMA, if you have an RHIA, a CHPS, CHDA, or a CDIP, you must earn 30 continuing education units. So basically, if you wanted to break it down, 15 per year, okay, which isn't bad, okay. RHIT is 20 continuing education units. And then with the CCA, the CCS, or the CCSP, you have to earn 20 continuing education units, and this includes 2 mandatory annual coding self-reviews. So a self-review is specific to AHIMA. AAPC does not have this. I know that for a fact because I asked an AAPC member, do you guys have to do this? She's like, no, I've never heard of that. But yeah, that is specific to AAPC, to AHIMA. Okay. And then the CEU requirements for multiple credentials with AHIMA. So if you, and it breaks down very nicely, the example, if you have a CCS and a CCSP, you must earn 30 continuing education units, okay? If you have a CHPS with an RHIT, you have to earn 40 continuing education units. If you have an RHIA with a CHDA, you have to earn 40. If you have an RHIA, which is Registered Health Information Administrator, I should have mentioned that, sorry guys, and a CDIP, which is a Clinical Documentation Improvement Practitioner, you have to earn 40 continuing education units. And then if you have a RHIA with a CCS and a CCSP, you have to earn 50 continuing education units. If you have a CHDA with a CCS, CHPS, and a CDIP, you have to earn 50 continuing education units. And if you have an RHIA with a CCS, CCSP, CHDA, and a CDIP, you have to earn 50 continuing education units. So it gives a nice little breakdown here, and it says all credential related activities should be completed by logging into your CEU center. Paper CEU forms, self-review answer forms, and reinstated forms will no longer be accepted by mail, email, or fax. So it's all online. It makes it a lot easier. And I've always had to report mine online. So I've never used the mail-in forms. I guess some people have. And that's cool if you have. But it's all online now. When you are on the My AHIMA, it's a little bit easier to navigate now. And before it was a little bit, it's a little bit cumbersome. It's the best way I can put it, I guess. But when you log into My AHIMA, it's a little bit easier and better to navigate, I think, now. But to get to the AHIMA program to do the coding basics course collection, it is a little bit cumbersome to get to, which is why I always list the link, the specific link, if you are looking to take the AHIMA coding online program. Okay. And so that's just what I wanted to mention about that one. But anyway, CEU'S, earning CEU'S is a lot of fun, I think. Some webinars are a little bit long. Some meetings are a little bit long. And you can also earn continuing education units by attending your local chapter meetings as well. So be sure, if you're not sure, attend a chapter meeting, or I guess it would be online now. COVID is just messing everything up right now. God, I swear. Anyway, so until then, always look online, okay? Try to look at the online resources that are available. If you are getting the journals, be sure to look for those quizzes. The AHIMA, I know specifically they have theirs. What else? You can look online for free continuing education unit classes for medical coders, or hours or units. They do have them online. You can do a Google search on those. I'm not going to list a bunch of them because, like I said, I like to only post links to associations or to places that I know for sure that I go through. And since I don't really go through any of these free ones online, I can't really promote that. You know what I mean? If I don't really know. So, but they are out there, and I know of other people that have used them. So, but for me personally, like I said, I like to make sure that if I'm promoting anything, it's something that I have used personally myself, or I know personally about the association, or whatever the case may be. So, except for with the exception of AAPC, I'm still telling you guys about this because these are the two major medical coding association powerhouses. And if you want to be a medical coder, these are the two associations you have to go through, either or, And I always recommend that if you are curious about whether or not you should get multiple credentials, my strong recommendation, if you have one credential, stick with one credential, at least for the first 2 years, okay? Check it out. Make sure that medical coding is what you want to do, okay? Because medical coding is different when you get into the real world, right? And even though right now a lot of positions that are hiring right now, they are still hiring for medical coders right now, even though we are in this pandemic, because of the simple fact that coders are needed, and this is one of the most important times for medical coders to shine, because we are in charge of this healthcare data, okay? What we code from on these records is being put into this data that is being sent out to everyone. So yes, just because a pandemic is going on doesn't mean they're going to stop, okay, hiring coders. Now, normally, if you are brand new, there would be no shot of you getting remote work, okay? So if you're looking for remote work, don't look that way. You can still look at places where you have to physically go, but usually everybody's going to be at home anyway. And I know of one particular viewer that just got a job, and she applied where she would have to physically go, but they said, okay, right now, because of the pandemic, we all have to be at home. So you're going to be remote coding for right now. So she is remote coding. And I think that's wonderful that, she was still able to get her foot in the door. And this is a wonderful time, because if this is a time to get into it, right? This is the time to get into it. So don't let a pandemic discourage you from still pursuing your dream of getting into the medical coding field. And just know that if you are working at home, this is probably going to be a temporary situation until this thing, gets back under control, and, we can go back to the hospital or the facility or wherever you're working at. I, for the time being, am still at home. They have extended us to work at home for the time being, because we were supposed to stop at June 30th, but it didn't work out that way. We're still at home. So, it's just going to depend on the facility and where you are. So that is something to be aware of. But yes, continuing education units is a fact of life for all medical coders. You have to do these, and you have to report them within the certain amount of time, within the 2 years, okay? And the website will let you know when your 2 years are up or when your reporting period is, okay? So make sure you stay on top of that. If you have to set an alarm, if you have to set a calendar reminder, please do it, because like I said, this is your livelihood, okay? And this is the most valuable way for you to be able to, you know, be competitive in the field. You know, if you want to be a medical coder, you have to be certified, you know, and if you have earned your certification, then you need to maintain it. And this is just part of the things that we have to do. And again, you will know, it will tell you how many continuing education units that you're going to earn. Always hold on to your certificates. Doesn't matter if you're uploading them into the computer or whatever. If you have a physical copy, keep it, okay? Get a folder or whatever you need and just keep it with you, because it's very important. You want to stay organized when it comes to continuing education units, okay? And always try to go for a variety of different topics. You know, there's always HIPAA, there's, you know, any updates. Sometimes they talk about updates with the CPT, or sometimes with PCS, you know, whatever the case may be. But looking for continuing education units is fairly easy. You can, of course, go through the association website. That's going to be your first way to find the most easy access ones. And then you can look for other resources. Okay, so, but like I said, it's a lot of fun, and it's good to, you know, maintain your knowledge base. And this is with any field where you're getting like certified, or you have an intellectual occupation, okay? Doctors have to have these, nurses, medical assistants, lawyers, they all have to have continuing education units, okay? So, and I'm pretty sure there's other professions that have to have this as well. Teachers, I know they have to have it, because of course they are the educators. So anyway, but yes, but I will say this also. The AHIMA CEU section is quite comprehensive. Like I said, I will be leaving that link down in the description box below. AAPC also has a very comprehensive list and information about their continuing education units. They have, let's see, they have a whole list. They have live events, including seminars, workshops, audios, teleconferences, live web-based trainings and courses. Methods approved by AHIMA or AAPC for maintaining credentials. Okay, and then recorded products, local chapter meetings, self-study, online education, and distance learning courses, education publications and self-study guides, educational publications, and then newsletters and magazines. Okay, so I mean, they have a variety of ways on how to earn continuing education units. So that's pretty much it. That's all I've got. So I know basically it was like, you know, go to the website, but talking about it, I think, helps to sort of make it all make sense. But yes, this is very important, and it's a fact of life for medical coders, just like auditing. Getting audited, you know. Audited is not as scary as it sounds, even though it does sound a little scary, but it's not that bad, okay? So anyway, it's all about having your proof, right? Same thing with continuing education units. You have to have your proof, okay? All right, I'm going to wrap this one up. So I hope you'll join me later. I am going to be posting the jobs review tonight at 7:30. And thank you guys for being so patient and dealing with me with the postponement of this episode from yesterday. Yesterday was just very hectic. So I will go ahead and wrap this one up, but I will see y'all again in a couple of hours. So if you are a medical coder, a medical coding student, somebody curious about the fascinating world of medical coding, a provider or a nurse, I invite you to like and subscribe and follow me on my journey in medical coding. I will see y'all next time. Bye!